Hey all my poppers, it's Fandom Pop Cosplay, or Crazy Crew, or just Chris, however you may know me as. Today I want to talk about my transition fund. I'll put the link down in the description below. So tomorrow I'll be turning 18, where I can finally start the hormones and stuff like that. And basically, I don't have the money because I can't work, and I'm currently a high school dropout that doesn't know how to drive. But I'm working to get back in school. I'm actually starting school in the fall. And I'm trying to get a job. In the summer, I'll be learning how to drive, and taking the test and stuff. And I'm actually working to get my dog, Jack, which he's over there in the yard. I'm looking at him. You can probably hear him jingling. Either trained as a service dog or just get a dog that was already trained for a service dog, because I've recently found out that I have PTSD as well as the anxiety and depression. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, a little more about myself, because you guys may not know. So, okay, here we go. I wrote it all down. So, like, when I was younger, I was, like, obsessed with, like, dudes, not, like, just, oh, I want to date them. I was obsessed with the fact that I wanted to be one. Like, I wanted to be a guy, and like, I kept changing my name every other week, and my teachers got so mad at me and finally just stopped listening to me whenever I changed my name, because I was just trying to find what felt right. Well, when I realized the behavior that I was displaying wasn't very normal, I just went back to hiding and being in the female form, I guess you would call it. But when I was in 7th grade, I started dressing in like clothes you would find in the guys section, and my hair was short to the point where people who didn't know me thought I was a dude, and I was very happy with that. But then after 7th grade, I moved in with my dad because there's like this thing that happened, and basically I just had to live with him for a while. And since it's a small town, I went back into hiding, and I wasn't happy with the way I was, body or gender wise, and I hated the clothes I had and all that stuff. But towards the end of my 8th grade year, I started dressing like a dude again with what I had, since I didn't have much. And like, after that, after the 8th grade year, I found out over the summer what the word transgender meant, and I was really happy that I cried, because I knew there was a different way than just being stuck like this for the rest of my life. Then in freshman year, a month after school started, I came out to my friends after I got my first chest binder from eBay, and it was a bad idea because it was a crappy chest binder. It was one of those $5 ones you get that says like lesbian tomboy thing. But I was so excited because my chest was flat, and I had them do the name change thing, and they started calling me Chris and using male pronouns. And I slowly, basically, once this happened, a lot of people in town and in the small town school noticed me, and I became a target for transphobic people and homophobic people, because small town, there's a lot of churches and stuff like that, and it was hard because I was trying to make myself known to the teachers by giving them notes explaining the situation, because my severe anxiety prevented me from speaking up to them in person, so I would just write it all down and have them read it. But like after freshman year, I moved back in with my mom in an entirely different school and in an entirely different town. And what I liked about that is that the people there were nicer. I made friends, and the moment we met, I was like, hey, I know you called me a girl earlier, but I'm actually a dude. To just, yeah. And then, I'm sorry if I'm not explaining this well, but I used the same technique that I used at my old school with the teachers, because I still wasn't on medicine for my anxiety and depression, but not many of the teachers really cared enough to actually take the time to take me seriously. So when they read the notes, they would just like throw it in the trash, and like I became the talk of the school. Once we did this project in IT class that was about blogging, and I wanted to make my blog about being trans in high school because the teacher said we could make it about anything we wanted as long as it was school appropriate, and it wasn't like I was using bad words or anything or describing my body in any form or fashion. It was just surviving in high school as a trans man, which apparently didn't go over very well with my teacher because he was an older dude, very open, but he wasn't completely sure how it would mull over because kids can be really mean. So he took it to the counselor, and the counselor brought me in, and like I was a talk of the school until I left, and I probably still am. But the blog got shut down because they didn't think it was school appropriate, and I was like, whatever. But I didn't last long in that school. In like March, I had a mental breakdown in the middle of class and was signed out for good. And then I wasn't in school for the last couple months. And then my junior year was pretty much stopped before it started. I was in an online homeschool program called Connections Academy, and it's I couldn't show up for the end of course exams in December, so they just stopped my schooling because they wanted me to go 3 hours from where I live to a testing area, and I just couldn't make it because I don't drive, obviously, and my dad has to work at nights, and on a weekday he can't do that kind of thing. So right now I'm gonna have to go back to school and repeat my junior year at an alternative school here in town, and I'm volunteering at a no-kill shelter for pit bulls that focuses mainly on pit bulls and other bully breeds. And I'm also, as I said before, getting my dog trained, hopefully. And then since I live with my dad, our insurance doesn't cover hormone replacement therapy or any of the transitioning process because we're in the South. And that's pretty much it. But like, I know I'm using a lot of fillers and like but it would really mean a lot to me if you could help me out, and because it's going to cost a lot of money for transportation and stuff, because since we live in a small town, I'm going to have to travel 2 hours to Dallas to get the process started. like, it's just gonna be a lengthy process and da. But basically, I just don't have the money, and it would really help me out. And I know it's kind of dumb to be reaching out to people on the internet, but it would mean a lot to me. It would help me feel more right in my own body and stuff, and just make me feel better. And I probably wouldn't be such a house hermit. Sorry, this slug I just noticed crawling down our wall with like green eyeballs, green antennae things. But that's basically it. Thanks for listening to my story. I know I was rambling a little bit, but again, link will be down in the description below. And if you don't donate, I hope you can at least share my story and support me in that way at least. Alright, bye everyone. Bye. I minimized my things.